What's up, everybody? We are at Epcot today. As if you couldn't tell from the big ball in front of me, we are going to be doing all the rides here with the Disney Genie Plus Lightning Lane service, but that's just not enough. I want to teach you guys about the flow of this park, and I'm going to be doing this for all the parks, but Epcot is one of the easier ones to start with because it doesn't have quite as many top tier rides as some of the other parks. We're dealing with Frozen, Remy, and Test Track here, and the flow of the park, what I mean by that is when and where the crowds are going to be so that you can make Genie Plus work so efficiently for you, you'll have plenty of time to enjoy all the other things Epcot has to offer. So let's go give this a shot. Okay, so first thing you need to know about Epcot, there are two ways into this park. One is through the front here by the big ball, and number two is out in the back near France. It's called the International Gateway. That services resort guests coming off the Disney Skyliner, Yacht and Beach Club Resort, Boardwalk Resort, and the Swan and Dolphin Resort. So the first trick you got to understand is if you're coming through the front of the park, the closest ride with Lightning Lane access that's very popular is Test Track. And if you're coming through the back of the park by the International Gateway, the main ride back there is Remy. So this was going to determine which ride you should go for first in the morning for your Lightning Lane. And I know what you're thinking. If I'm coming through the back of the park, shouldn't I grab Remy as a Lightning Lane? Absolutely not. This should be your rope drop ride because if you are a Disney Resort guest, you get access to early park entry. So you can be one of the first people through the gates in the back, which means you should rope drop Remy. Just the opposite. If you are in the front of the park, you can rope drop Test Track and get the Lightning Lane for Remy. All right, so here we go. We're entering through the front of the park. First thing this morning around 6:30, I purchased Genie Plus, and at 6:59, I went after the virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy and got a boarding group of 54, which is a return time for about 1 o'clock. And right after that, I got a Lightning Lane for Remy, and I was lucky. I was able to get a return time for about 10:45. All right, so we're all set now. We're going to head over to Test Track. We're going to rope drop this ride at 8:30 in the morning. So this worked out. I rope dropped Test Track with the rest of the crowd in the front of the park, got on at about 8:45, and was off the ride about 9 o'clock. All right, so we're going to get off Test Track here. We're going to make a left. We're going to head through Mexico. And our next stop will be Norway for Frozen. We're going to hang out here. We're going to hop on the standby line for Frozen. The wait time was about 45 minutes. All right, so when all was said and done, we got off of Frozen about 10:20. Now we'll take a nice leisurely walk for about 10 to 15 minutes over to France, and it will be right on time for Remy at 10:45. So this worked out really well. While I was waiting on Remy after tapping into my Lightning Lane, I selected Soaring as my next ride with a return time for 11:45. It's 11:15 now. We just got off Remy, so we're going to head over toward the big ball there. We're going to get on Soaring and hit some of the other rides in that area. Right after I tapped into Soaring, I went for Mission Space Lightning Lane and got a return time for 12:50. And while we're here in the Land Pavilion, I said, let's do Living with the Land. It was only a 5-minute wait for a really cool slow-moving boat ride that teaches you about agriculture and some of the cool growing techniques they use at Disney World. So I got off Living with the Land around 12:45, 12:50, and because it's right next door, I said, what the heck, let's hit up Standby for Journey into Imagination. It's only 10-minute wait. By the time I got off this, I know what you're thinking. I'm over 12:50, but you get that whole hour from 12:50 to 1:50 as a return time for my Mission Space Lightning Lane, so we're doing just fine. So this worked out really smoothly. My virtual boarding group got called around 1:30, and the wait time with the virtual queue was about 45 to 50 minutes to get onto the ride. And while I was waiting on Guardians of the Galaxy, I chose a lightning lane for Spaceship Earth, even though I kept having to modify it because I wasn't going to get off Guardians in time. Always have a lightning lane in your pocket. Just pick something. You can always modify it later on. So I had to modify it for a later time for around like 2:45 to 3:45. So I got off Guardians around like 2:50, and obviously my return time for Spaceship Earth was 2:45 to 3:45. So I have some time because I have that whole hour, so I decided to stop in, get some to eat over Connections, and then we headed over to Spaceship Earth. So I wanted to keep moving. I tapped into Spaceship Earth, and then I picked a lightning lane for the Seas with Nemo and Friends and got a return time for about 4 o'clock. I wanted to head over there. This is a really cool ride for everybody, and then it dumps you out into the aquarium where you can check out all the sea life, sharks, dolphins, manatees, sea turtles, stingrays, you name it, they got it. So when you get off the ride with Nemo and Friends, spend a little time in the aquarium. There's quite a bit to see. They've got stingrays, sharks, dolphins, manatees, but you can see most of the stuff within 25 to 30 minutes. You don't have to spend a lot of time in there. The next ride I want to get a lightning lane for was Grand Fiesta Tour over in Mexico, but before we head over there, right around the corner from the Seas with Nemo and Friends is Journey of Water, inspired by Moana. This is just a really cool, relaxing, walk at your own pace, interactive attraction with water. All right, so last lightning lane of the day, the Grand Fiesta Tour over in Mexico. I tapped in at 5:30. This is such a cool boat ride. I truly enjoy this one. It is so relaxing. Just a nice ride through Mexico, starring the three caballeros. Obviously, I need to work on my Spanish. I can't roll my L's that well, but you've got Donald Duck, Panchito, and Jose. Really cool ride. Don't miss out on this one. So I got off Grand Fiesta Tour around 5:45, and now I'm going to take in Festival of the Arts to the fullest. Not that I haven't enjoyed it throughout the day. I didn't really show it in the video, but I made frequent little pit stops to check out the music, the art, the shows that were going on, like the acrobats here out front, sample some of the food and drinks. It just goes to show you, having Genie Plus really allows you to open up your day a little bit and move a little more leisurely through the park. If there's one thing I could say about Walt Disney World, no 2 days are exactly the same. There's always a lot going on in the parks sporadically, character meet and greets, the festivals at Epcot, you name it. And having Genie Plus is such a benefit to open up your day and give you the freedom to enjoy all those little extras. I also hope this video gave you some really good tips and insight, how to move ride to ride, navigate Epcot, and make Disney Genie Plus work so efficiently for you so you can get the most of your day here at Epcot. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.